See, I'm a music lover. I'm a gentle type of a person. I hate to be mean to people. It upsets me.
How do you mean?
She ain't only got no memory, boss. She stutters.
That's my trouble. I'm sensitive.
Me too.
You see, neither of us would have to get upset if you just talk.
Oh, well, I'll talk. What would you like to talk about?
You seen him get killed.
I tell you, I didn't. I was telephoning.
A fine time to be telephoning.
Oh, well, I used to telephone a lot. You ought to see my telephone bill.
Do you mean to tell me with the bullets flying all around the apartment, you kept yapping on the phone?
I wasn't yapping. I ducked behind the bar.
Excuses. Always excuses. But he's still dead.
Oh, well, I hope so. They buried him yesterday.
Maybe you'll regain your memory after you get to know us a little better. Get a coat.
Oh, whose coat?
What do you want, somebody else's coat?
Well, I wasn't planning on going out.
There's been a change in your plans, lady. Hey, you look kind of white. Put on some lipstick.
I'm still going to look a little white. Well, make yourselves comfortable. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
That's enough lipstick. Come on! What do you want me to do, break down the door?
Oh, were you calling me?
Let's go.
You heard what the boss said?
I'm coming. I've got to kill that Charlie Baxter. This is all his fault.
Baxter? Who's Baxter?
He's a worm. Danny was right.
Wait a minute, one at a time. This is Baxter. Did he shoot Harris?
No, he never shot off anything but his mouth.
Then why are we talking about him?
I'm talking to myself.
Then fix it so my ears can't hear you.
Look, I can't do you any good. I don't know your name, but what is your name?
Fine thing. I should kidnap somebody and then tell them my name. Don't you know anything?
No, sir, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm just a girl from Ohio. I only lived in New York 6 months. These two girls took me...
Now I gotta listen to a life story. Yatata, yatata, yatata.
But honest, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't know a soul in New York. These two girls took me in and let me share their apartment. They're very nice girls, Sandra and Nono. Of course, they're not exactly the outdoor type. They like to sleep late. Now, me, I'm the energetic type. I like to get up in the morning and do my exercises. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
No, I want to ask you something. When you got chintzy about money and decided you'd be happier paying a third of the rent instead of half of it, did you know she was cheerful in the morning?
There's one thing I forgot to check.
Uh-huh. He didn't know it was loaded.
Oh, did I wake you?
No, it wasn't you. Just the noise you made.
You know what I've been trying to figure out about you, too, is how you can sleep so late.
Well, if you figure it out, send us a wire, will you?
Happy.
Oh, well, Eleanor, I don't wish to seem petty, but that is our last clean blouse, and I do have a date tonight.
Oh, well, it'll look clean after dark.
But I want it to be clean after dark.
Oh, but I gotta have it. Honest, I have, no. I got a modeling job at 10, and after that, a date with a real live producer.
Eleanor, look. If you're wearing a clean blouse, a real live producer will only try to borrow money from you.
You know, I've noticed something about you, Sandra. And No.
That our clothes are getting worn out?
No, you don't wake up in the morning feeling good. What you need is music. You need a guy.
I have 6 guys. Our ages total 342 years.
I mean a guy like Danny.
I had a jack-in-the-box once, but I control the lid.
I get to bed about 3:30. That's not supposed to be so good for me. Still, I wake up in the morning feeling fine. I never bother with the coffee blend, the blend all the famous doctors recommend. Still, I wake up in the morning feeling fine. It must be 'cause you kiss me goodnight every night. Next day I rise king size with my eyes ashine. Healthier than Hercules. I haven't got one of those blankets with the wires inside. I lock my potatoes and I lock 'em fried. Still I wake up in the morning feeling fine. Feeling fine. Since you're mine.
Russell! I'm in fine battle, steaming like a kettle. I could climb a pope, get a pedal, feel my pulse, test my metal, superior to Superman. I never rub the goose grease on my skin. I open up the window and let the smog roll in. Still, I wake up in the morning feeling fine, feeling fine. Since you're mine. Oh, hello.
Weren't you getting in kind of late?
Huh? I didn't mean to disturb you.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't this cute? What is it, a doll's house?
It's the Hamlet set.
And you've been up all night studying it.
I've been up all night cutting Hamlet.
Did you cut Ophelia?
Yes, I cut Ophelia.
Well, I like that.
Good. I was afraid you might not.
Danny,
Yes.
why does the Corner Theater Group have to do stuff like Shakespeare? Why don't you do some nice cheerful play like Charlie's Aunt, for instance?
So you could play Charlie?
Well, I don't really understand Shakespeare, Danny.
It's a good thing he's dead, or he'd be cut to the quick.
I think it's a good thing he's dead or he'd be selling pencils.
Look, sweetie. Don't ever let anyone ever hear you say that except me, will you?
I don't have to convince anybody but you that show business is a business. That's why they call it show business, don't you see?
Listen, Happy Heart. I was reared in the theater. Now, I'm not one of those guys that go around saying that they have a great reverence for it. But I do have a healthy respect for it. I want to be a director. I want to be a good director. Now, you want to be an actress.
I am an actress. If I'm not an actress, what am I? Don't answer that. I'm sick of people like you sitting up all night trying to think of smart things to say to people like me. Just because I come from Ohio, let me tell you one thing.
Let me tell you one thing. Coming from Ohio has nothing to do with it. You're not an actress yet, but if you work hard, maybe you will be in a few years.
In a few years. I'm 23 now. In a few years, I'll be 27 or 28.
So what? Bernhardt was her greatest in her 40s.
I don't want to be Bernhardt. I want to be me with money.
You know, Eleanor, sometimes I don't understand you. I don't understand the way you think. I don't understand the way you operate. And now that I'm nearly awake, I remember something. Didn't we part forever last night?
That's right, we did. Did you know it slipped my mind? I forgive you.
You forgive me for what?
For being unreasonable. You are, you know, Danny.
What?
Coffee.
Unreasonable. Just because I have a feeling if I'm in a buck to you, you'd have me walking down Broadway on stilts. You know, success to you is reading your name in gossip columns.
Right.
Having people point out, there goes Eleanor Collier.
Right.
Who was that man with her?
Right.
And isn't it cute of her to go out with a man with two heads?
Do you know what we're doing?
All right, what are we doing?
We're getting into another quarrel.
This does not surprise me.
Oh, Danny, please, please, let's not quarrel again.
You know, I don't know what there is about you. When I'm away from you, everything you do, everything you think, seems to be all wrong. But when we're together, the only thing I can think of is, I love you.
I love you too, Danny.
You know, this quarreling is no good. Let's make a bargain. From now on in, we'll sit down and discuss everything reasonably. No more of this parting forever, huh?
Never, never again. My blouse. I mean, Nono's blouse. You're crumpling it.
You're pretty done up. What for?
I have an appointment. In fact, I've got a couple of appointments.
Oh?
I've got a modeling job.
That's one.
Then after that, I got a date with a real big producer.
How nice. About what?
About a job, if he ever has one. It's a contact, Dan. Now, don't tell me contacts aren't important. They are important. They're shortcuts, and the quicker you get to the top, the quicker the better. That's what I think.
Oh, contacts. Where have I heard that before? Oh, yeah, Charlie Baxter.
Isn't he wonderful?
In a horrible start of the way, yes.
He's the best press agent in New York.
Did he get you that modeling job, too? What are you going to model?
Girdles?
Girdles?
Well, lots of people get started modeling.
Helen Hayes didn't model girdles.
Helen Hayes has been an actress since she was 4 years old. Nobody would have asked her to model a girdle when she was 4 years old.
Yeah, but Helen Hayes didn't hire a cheap press agent to get her name in the papers. Look, do you think that's going to make an actress out of you?
It might help to give me a chance to show that I am an actress. Don't you see, Danny?
The only thing I can't see is why you persist on being such a half-wit.
Oh, don't you ever speak to me again.
That's good enough for me.
Remember, kids, happy.
You have just witnessed the end of a dream.
Yeah, bad dream.
You can tell Mr. James for me that where he's standing there's an empty space. Come on, girl.
You're a mirage to me, too, sister.
Honey, you'll feel much better after you've had something to
I'm
eat.
not gonna eat when I'm so mad.
Usual way, like a thresher.
Hi.
Cushion, our friend is delicate. She just wants orange juice, ham and eggs, a side of potatoes, black coffee, and toast.
And I'll have number 1 as usual.
And the same for me. Let's see, that's 2 number 1s and a farmer's breakfast.
We've renamed it. We now call it the backbone of the country breakfast.
What's wrong with Ohio?
Honey, nobody said anything about Ohio.
Cracks all the time. First I'm a half-wit and then I come from Ohio. Well, let me tell you something. Just because I wasn't brought up in a theatrical trunk,
I've always thought one of those trunks to be pretty crowded.
I'll show that Danny James a thing or two. They're going to point me out in restaurants and say, there goes Eleanor Collier. She's the greatest talent to hit Broadway since
The Johnstown flood.
Right. And then when Danny comes backstage to congratulate me, I'll say, now who's the half-wit, Mr. James, and what are you doing this season?
Ham.
Clap hands. Here's Charlie.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Talent.
Hi, Charlie.
Baby, I got a surprise for you.
I've got a surprise for you, Mr. Baxter. Your elbow is in my grapefruit.
You could surprise me with a job, Charlie.
Honey, you've got a new name.
Oh, isn't that cute, Miss Robinson Crusoe?
No, that's me.
Certainly it's you. Yum, yum. Yum, yum, Kaya. It's a natural for publicity.
Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
Yum, yum.
Sounds like a Chinese dish.
I think it sounds pretty good.
I thought of it myself. Am I a press agent or am I a press agent?
You leave us very little choice.
You know, my mother told me that the only real good reason for a girl to change her name had something to do with the little gold band.
Who are you to talk? What's your name?
Angelica Roseanne.
You're known from one end of Broadway to the other as No-No. The girl who never turned down a date if there was a dinner in it.
Oh, I did too, once.
Well, how do you like it?
I think it's wonderful, Charlie. Genuine genius.
The columnist will eat it up.
Yeah, if Danny James doesn't eat you up first, Bub.
The name is familiar. Who is Danny James?
Yes, who is Danny James? A broken-down director of a little theater group that couldn't act its way out of a paper bag. What's a girl like this doing with a group like that? Wasting her time, wasting her energy, her talent. An atom bomb in with a lot of dud firecrackers.
Why don't you crawl back underneath your rock?
My, it's getting so you don't know who you meet in this drugstore.
Hello, Danny. Haven't seen you in a long while.
Make it longer the next time. I came down here to tell you, Miss Contact, that there'll be a rehearsal this afternoon at the usual time.
You did not. You came here to make up, and let me tell you something.
Now, look, sweetie, you're coming to rehearsal. And after rehearsal, you're coming to my room. We're going to have supper. Then we're going to sit down and discuss everything reasonably, like we decided to do this morning. That is, if your memory goes back as far as this morning.
My memory seems to go back to where you called me a half-wit, and before that, I can't remember much. It's all a blank.
Then I'll refresh your memory, Happy Heart, because there's one... Just a minute. What is this?
Publicity, a breakfast food.
What does this yum-yum mean?
Eleanor's new name. A catchy name for the columnist. Only through publicity can an unknown get her break. Look at Olive McVane. Somebody printed she had the prettiest legs on Broadway.
So what?
She got 8 weeks at the Copa out of it. Next time I pose, I'll pose in a Mother Hubbard in a sunbonnet.
Oh, you look real yummy in a sunbonnet and a girdle.
Girdles. Holy cow, that means $10 to me. How can I get to 57th in 2 minutes?
A magic carpet.
Oh, Danny, now you've made me late. Love and a career just don't mix.
You know, Baxter, if you ever pull another trick like this, I'm going to tear you apart and lose the pieces. Some directors ask their actors to forget that their audience is there. I ask you to remember every minute that your audience is there. And another thing you must remember, no matter how much talent you possess, no matter how quickly or glibly you learn your lines, hard work and sincerity are the foundation to every good performance. Whether it be opening night in New York at the best theater there, or the ending of a long road tour company in a tent in Paducah, Kentucky. Now,
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a little bit late.
just 53 minutes late. You know we have 1 hour for rehearsal. Of course, for an actress of your accomplishments, 7 minutes should be sufficient. But as for the rest of us, we need rehearsal.
I'm not saying a word.
Now, Miss Collier, if you don't mind, we'll begin with the scene of their first meeting.
Certainly, Mr. James.
Thank you, Miss Collier. Now, start where you invite him into supper. All right, come in. Stand back. Stand up straight. That's it. Now, look at the man. Start talking.
Your supper is ready, Mr. Ogilvy.
This is not a satire on Uncle Tom's Cabin.
I was trying to be hospitable with feeling.
Then try it again without feeling.
Your supper is ready, Mr. Ogilvy.
Now, look, would you try it one more time? And this time I suggest you underplay it.
Sorry, Mr. James. Time's up.
Look, couldn't we just finish this scene?
For another $5.
Okay, everybody. That's much better, Jim.
Thanks, Danny.
Right. Same time. So long.
Together and run that scene quick.
Good night, Jim.
Okay, those cues come so fast. No good at all.
Oh, Baxter, is there anything special I can do for you, or did you just drop by to cheer?
I came to see my client.
Hi, Charlie.
Oh, I've got to talk to you, Eleanor.
What's stopping you?
I want to talk to her alone.
Look, Baxter, she's not interested in doing a fan dance in a department store window. Or are you?
Oh, Danny, will you stop being so superior?
I'm not trying to be superior, sweetie. It's just that, well, I don't want to see you make a fool of yourself. You understand that, don't you?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
Eleanor, I've got
quiet. Do we have a dinner date?
Of course we do.
Now, look, I'll drop down and get the sketches. Then I'll go over to the delicatessen store, and I'll see you in the apartment.
All right. Danny. Danny, you don't really mind if I see him for just a minute, do you?
Mm-mm.
I love you, you big ape.
Flattery will get you nowhere. I love you, too. But don't tell Baxter.
Now, Yum Yum, you're going to have to think fast.
Who, me?
All right, I'll think up something.
About what?
About how to break this delicatessen dinner date. How can you fool around with these hot plate jockeys?
Oh, I can't break a date with Danny.
Oh, you can't? All right. Goodbye, career. Go on and eat beans for the rest of your life. Get old and haggard and look at other people's names and lights and remember yours could have been there. But no, you chose a director who couldn't direct traffic.
He's a good director.
Good directors get paid.
He'll command one of the highest salaries on Broadway someday. You wait and see.
Yeah, and while you're waiting, what are you going to eat? Beans?
I like beans.
All right. Give up the greatest chance of your life.
What am I giving up?
And besides, don't you want him to be proud of you? When he's recognized as the greatest director on Broadway, don't you want to be right up there beside him, important in your own right? A dazzling woman, a star? How would it look, an important guy like that and a nobody for a wife?
Wouldn't look very good, would it?
Now, look, you break that date and bar the prettiest dress No-No has. You're having dinner tonight with Alex Ryan Creek.
I don't know Alex Ryan Creek.
You don't have to know Alex Ryan Creek. You're having dinner with him.
Well, why should he want to have dinner with me? If I don't know him and he doesn't know me, and there must be lots of girls he does know, and if none of them want to go out with him, there must be something wrong with them.
Yum, yum. Close your mouth for just 1 minute and listen. Can you do that?
But
Alex Ryan Creek is a millionaire, an eccentric millionaire.
He must be eccentric.
He owns a ball team.
I don't want to be a pitcher. I want to be an actress.
He's had broken romances with 3 movie stars.
Then he hates women.
Any girl he takes to dinner automatically gets mentioned in 3 to 8 columns. It's worth $10,000 in publicity alone.
Columns? You mean he could get my name in a column?
Just go out with him and see.
All right, go ahead and go. But don't come bouncing in here tomorrow morning and act as though nothing ever happened.
How can you say that? All I did was accept an important invitation. Do you know what I think?
What goes on in your head cannot be dignified by the word thinking.
I'm getting good and sick of your insults. I've taken all I can take. I only hope you don't live to regret this insane jealousy.
Oh, no, you won't make an exit like that. You stay here and fight like a man.
I'm not a man. Danny, you're always tripping me.
I'll count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, where are you going?
In?
Oh, no, my pet. No, you're coming in here.
Oh, what goes on? Aren't we going in the nightclub?
I have a wonderful surprise for you. Yes. Wonderful. Now then, here's a surprise. My ball team is playing tonight. They should be in about the, let me see, the 7th inning. Let's see how they're doing, eh?
Oh, well, I'd like to see how they're doing in there.
Oh, they're doing the same old thing, drinking and thinking. Oh, I say, you're cute.
You're cute, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Aren't you a bit, I would say, warm?
Oh, Mr. Creek.
Oh, just call me Alex.
But I don't feel I know you that well.
Oh, the mental type, eh? Just conversation, eh?
This isn't conversation. You got your coat button caught my beads and I can't breathe.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, but never mind. The big doctor will some more tomorrow. How about a friendly little kiss? You won't miss it. It'll do me a lot of good.
Heinzelman.
Come on, Heinzelman. Good old Heinzelman. What were you going?
I thought I'd take a little walk past the entrance.
Now, isn't that just like a woman? When the winner of this game will take first place in the league, well, that's really something worth waiting for, yeah?
Right field, a base hit. Rice is rounding third. He's going to try to score. Cobb fields the ball, throws into the plate. Here comes Rice. Here comes the ball. He slides. He's safe. The ball game is all tied up.
Look, Mr. Creek, the game is all tied up. Couldn't we go inside and eat while they're getting it untied?
Oh, is the little woman hungry?
Yes.
Well, that's easily fixed. I love to do that. Always did get a kick out when I was a boy.
Yes, Mr. Creek?
Oh, Joe, tell them to send out dinner down here at the car.
Okay, Mr. Creek.
Down to the car? You mean we're not even going inside to eat?
They always send dinner down to the car whenever my team is playing. Fun, eh?
Oh, yeah, it's real gay. This is what I call living.
Well, how's the game going, Alex?
Oh, fine, fine. We're wiping them up, yes.
And who's this pretty little girl?
Huh? Why, she's Miss, what was that name again, my pet?
Lizzie Borden.
Oh, yeah. Miss Borden, Mr. Saunders.
You have an interesting face.
But I was interested in it first, old boy.
Here it is. Ball one.
You know, he's the biggest wolf in town, always dangling contracts in front of girls.
What kind of contract?
Why, he's a movie producer.
A movie producer?
Take it easy, my dear. Take it
Oh.
easy.
Looks like a home run, and it is a home run, winning the ball game.
Wonderful, wonderful. We've won. How about a kiss of congratulations? eh?
I never kiss on an empty stomach.
Why, it doesn't make a bit of difference, though.
Shall we set up as usual, Mr.
Oh,
Green?
certainly. Right in the front seat.
We'll be with you tomorrow evening at 8:15. Until then, this is Fred Haney, rounding third and heading for
Why,
home.
what's the matter? Were you disappointed in the game?
Oh, no. I get all dressed up and I could have sat home in a bathrobe and listened to a baseball game, only I wouldn't because I don't like baseball. And now we're going to eat dinner in the front seat of a car like a picnic or something. I want to eat inside.
Oh, for goodness sake, why didn't you say so?
What do you think I've been trying to say?
Oh, take it back inside, Louis. What are you staring at?
Oh, the celebrities.
Alex, old boy?
Oh, hello, Bonnie.
Won't you and the little lady join me at the bar?
Sure.
Well, not right now. We're looking for a table.
Isn't that Barney Stratum, the marrying man?
Yeah.
Why don't we join him for a drink? Maybe I'll get my picture in the
But
paper.
I don't want my picture in the paper.
This way, Mr. Creek.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that Laddie Corwin, the columnist?
Yes, that's right.
Your table, Mr. Creek.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, are we going to sit way over here?
Why not?
Well, it's kind of drafty.
Drafty?
There's a much better table right over here.
I trust you'll find this less drafty.
Oh, this is lovely.
Hello, Alex.
Oh, hello, laddie.
You know, back in Ohio, we meet somebody we know. We introduce them to other people.
I beg your pardon?
I say back in Ohio.
I got that. It's a little farther along that I got lost.
Introduce me to Laddie Corwin.
Miss Borden, may I present Mr. Corwin?
The name isn't Borden, it's Collier.
But I distinctly remember a few moments ago you said Borden.
No, it's Collier. Collier. Yum Collier.
Yes, sir.
It'll be the usual order.
What is it?
You're new here, aren't you?
Yep.
Then you might as well know that I always order the same thing. Vichyssoise.
No good.
Consommé?
Never eat soup in a restaurant.
Well, what do we have?
Steak, medium rare.
Makes no difference. It's tough anyhow.
Some broccoli?
Frozen stuff.
Perhaps we better start with a cocktail, eh?
Fine. That'll make everything taste better.
What would you like for a cocktail?
Oh, just some nice chopped up fruit.
2 double Gibsons and a bottle of champagne with dinner.
Very expensive.
Oh, but I'm going to borrow the money from the young lady.
Oh, but I haven't got any money.
Oh, don't you worry, my pet. I'll get it somewhere. And don't you worry either, no. Just bring the order.
All right.
Thought you'd be at the game.
I'm too nervous.
Just made money on your team tonight, Alex.
Glad.
Let me buy you a drink.
Let me buy you one.
Thanks. My name is Williams.
We'll have our drink at the bar, old boy. You'll excuse us, pet?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Oh, are these them?
Yep.
Are they bitter?
Drink 'em fast. There will be no pain.
Makes you want to bark.
I'll get you some more water. I've been watching you, young lady.
Oh, you have?
You know, my friend Creek is a dog in the manger about you pretty little things.
You know, I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Stratum. You look a little bit older than your pictures. You get your picture in the paper a lot, don't you?
Let's make this a loving couple.
Okay. Kind of sour, isn't it?
But you're sweet. Do you know that you have a chance of being the next Mrs. Stratum?
Oh, well, that's awfully nice of you, Mr. Stratum, but...
You're welcome. I really mean it. You're very, very pretty.
Please, Mr. Stratum.
Please, nothing. Can't a man be alone with a lady who's liable to be his next wife?
This way, Mr. Stratum. I'm sorry, miss. They will have one too many.
You know, to look at me, Mr. Corwin, you wouldn't know I was carrying a torch, would you?
No, I wouldn't, Miss...
Collier. Yum Yum Collier. Collier. Yep, we've gone.
You and Creek?
Oh, no, I don't even know Mr. Creek. Danny James and I.
Who's Danny James?
Famous director, James. You know, speaking about your column, that was what we were talking about, wasn't it? I guess it must be pretty hard for you to get material. Now, a thing like me and Alex Ryan Creek must come in pretty handy, huh? You know, I could just see the way you write it. Yum Yum Collier, Collier, and an eccentric millionaire, Alex Ryan Creek, are an item.
I guess you don't know much about newspaper ethics, Miss Collier. No columnist ever mentions the name of a girl who was out with a married man.
He's got a wife?
Just arriving.
I don't believe Mr. Creek is here this evening, madam.
He's here all right. He'll be with a blonde.
Oh, pardon me.
Well, I guess I'd better be going.
Whoop. Oh, pardon me, miss. Are you leaving?
Well, yes, I thought I would.
Yes, but
pardon me.
I've got your dinner here.
Oh, well, I kind of lost my appetite.
Oh, you did?
Oh, pardon me.
And the gentleman?
Well, I don't think he's very hungry either. Oh, pardon me.
And the check?
Well, you see, I was kind of a guest. Oh, now look what you made me do.
Now, look here, just a moment. Just a moment, miss. Your host has left. And accordingly to the rule of this restaurant, if I lose the host, I am the host. And I can't afford these prices.
But I tell you, I'm a guest.
She's trying to beat the check. Now, look here. She's a robber. She was trying to beat the check.
Oh, he doesn't understand. I'm a guest. Honest, I am.
1,000 pardons, miss. Get back into the kitchen, you idiot. Mr. Creek will take care of the check.
So Mr. Creek will take care
Oh,
of
no, wait a minute,
the
Mrs. Creek.
check.
You don't understand.
You seem all hot and flushed.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Mrs. Creek.
Who you are?
Oh!
It must be raining inside.
Taxi, miss?
Are you kidding? I gotta walk. Oh, Danny, you don't know how glad I am to see you.
So what happened? Why are you crying? And you're perspiring, too.
I'm not perspiring. I'm all wet.
Well, what happened, honey? Well, where's Creep? Why isn't he taking you home?
I just don't happen to like Mr. Creek, that's all. Oh, Danny, it was so wonderful of you to come down and pick me up.
Look, the only reason I came down to pick you up, I was afraid maybe you might get into some kind of trouble. And it looks like you did. I'm only taking you home for old time's sake. You know me, I'd take a drowned rat home if I found one.
Oh. Are you insinuating that I look like a drowned rat?
Yes.
Oh, you and that corny horn. It sounds awful.
What do you want it to sound like, Harry James?
Oh, my beautiful beautiful new dress is just ruined. I bet she really lived it up last night.
Gee, do you think she went swimming?
Oh, and I was going to wear it to a party tonight, and the producer of Bright Trumpet is going to be there. And I just thought that if he saw me in my new dress, he might pick me for the part.
No, listen. If you get to see that producer again, would you ask him if I could play the part of the trumpet?
Oh, of course.
Thanks. Gee, I gotta do something pretty soon. Already, if I stand sideways, the producers can't even see me.
Oh, hi.
Gee, you look awful.
Got into a little trouble last night. I'm awfully sorry about your dress, No. I guess it'll have to be cleaned.
Oh, it feels pretty clean. What did you wash it with?
Maddie got caught in a shower or something? But I fixed her. Good. Well, that makes everything all right. Listen, whatever did happen last night?
Everything. You name it, it happened. First, he turns out to be married, and then he has a friend that wants to get married, and then I had a drink called a Gibson, and just when I met Laddie Corwin, everything happened.
Oh, that's when you got in the shower.
Oh, don't be silly. It wasn't a shower. It was a bucket of ice water.
I figures.
I never did get anything to eat. And to top everything off, Danny has to arrive and act absolutely unreasonable.
Listen, how did Danny get mixed up in this schmozzola?
Don't mention his name. I never want to hear his name again. I don't feel so good.
Well, my mother told me never to worry about men. They're like streetcars.
I know. There'll be another one along in a minute. Who is it?
Danny.
Uh-oh. That man from downstairs is upstairs again.
Hi, Sandra. May I come in?
Don't ask me. Ask my roommates. I only pay a third of the rent.
Guess what happened?
I, for one, am not interested.
I've got news. I've got great news. Johnson phoned. He wants our group to do summer stock.
Oh, Danny, that's a wonderful break for you, and I get to play the lead.
Exactly what we wanted.
Oh, Danny, maybe after summer he'll bring it to Broadway.
Well, that's a little bit too much to hope for, but some of us may get jobs if the right people see it.
Oh, Danny.
So tonight we celebrate, huh? Look, I've got to see Johnson before rehearsal, so we only have time for dinner. Now, where do you want to go? And no drugstores.
Danny, let's go to Perrin's. All the Broadway celebrities go there.
Parents it is.
Glad you mentioned that. Nothing down in Hudson's. See you later.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Hi.
Hello, Lieutenant. How's crime?
Fine.
Dear. Okay, sir.
Mr. Curry, Mr. Harris would like you to have a drink with him at his table.
Fine, thanks. I'll be right in.
Is that Bunny Harris in there?
None other.
I'll join you if you don't mind.
Shall I get under the bar, or is it going to be pleasant?
No, I like Bunny.
This way, gentlemen.
Hello, laddie. Well, this is a surprise, Lieutenant. Join us for a drink. No, thanks. I'll just be concise and to the point. You want to be concise standing up or sitting down?
We know about the bookmaking ring you're setting up. You've stepped on a lot of toes, Bunny.
Toes were made to be stepped on.
Get out of town. It's not going to be very healthy for you around here.
Well, thank you for your concern, Lieutenant. I know the right doctors.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
If what you say is true, I probably won't have a chance to say anything. See you again, I hope. Thanks very much.
What are you going to have, Mr. Harris?
Straight bourbon for me, please. How about you, laddie?
Water. Ulcers.
How'd you get those?
I didn't. They got me.
Are you going to print this? This thing about the bookmaking?
I'm interested in something else. There's a rumor around you're going into producing.
This is true.
Hiya, laddie. How's tricks?
Hello, Baxter.
Charlie Baxter.
Will you excuse us? Mr. Harris and I were just talking about a show he's going to produce.
Go right ahead. If you're going to produce, Mr. Harris, you'll need exploitation. Now, you're looking right square at the best little old publicity representative on Broadway.
What happened to Dick Maney? Retire?
The main thing about show business is exploitation, publicity.
Yeah, a show helps, and people.
And girls. I like girls in a show. Speaking of girls, there's my idea of one there.
Oh, Danny, this is so exciting. I've heard so much about it and read so much about it.
You know, this place has fed more actors on the cuff than you have hairs on your head. And when Frankie here calls you by your first name, you're a success.
Here comes Charlie Baxter. Pretend you don't see him.
If I were on a railroad track and there was a train coming, how could I pretend it's not coming?
Well, well.
This is a private party, Charlie.
Oh, I can only stay a minute. I'm here with Laddie Corwin and Bunny Harris. Well, everything turned out fine last night, didn't it? Creek, I mean.
You're fired.
From what?
From being my representative, that's what. Alex Ryan Creek, the eccentric millionaire. You know, back in Ohio, when I was a kid, we had a place for people like that, way up on a hill with a fence around it. And when one of those guys got loose, we all had to stay in the house until they got the net over him.
How do you like that? She wants publicity. She gets the lead item in Laddie Corwin's column and then gives me the pitch.
What do you mean, the lead item?
Right here it says, Yum Yum Collier.
Let me see.
Already 3 modeling agencies have called me up. Next, there'll be producers. Enough publicity like this, and we're in.
Well,
How do you see that?
now, Danny.
Well, Yum Yum Collier, one of Broadway's yummiest models, married Barney Stratton. He proposed to her last night in a bent elbow. That did it.
Now, take it
Now,
easy. I'm
Danny.
going to leave. Could I talk to you later?
No, she's got to go to rehearsal.
But I got something for her.
I told you she's got to go to rehearsal. So he proposed to you, huh? Mrs. Barney Stratton.
Well, I think maybe he thought I was somebody else, Danny.
Well, I think maybe you better get a retraction on this.
Oh, probably Mr. Corwin would get very mad at me.
And if you don't do it, I'll get very mad at you.
Oh, no, no.
Hello, honey.
Hello, Danny. You know what happened? Audrey Avon is going to leave the show, and she's going to marry Mo Just.
The ball player.
Really? When?
Well, as soon as he gets back from Cincinnati. The guy I'm with is a baseball player, too. He's outside waiting for me in a taxi. Well, I guess I better get back to him. See you later.
Well, Danny, I gotta hurry.
In case you don't know it, the time to leave a restaurant is after you eat. Or do they do it different in Ohio?
Oh, they can keep it in the oven. Danny, don't you see? Audrey Avon's gonna marry Mo Just, and she's gonna leave the show.
Look, the guy's still in Cincinnati. You'll have plenty of time to congratulate her after you eat.
Oh, I'm not gonna congratulate her. I'm merely gonna go see the stage manager of the Above the Mountain Company. You see, the best time to talk to him is in the alley beside the theater. He always comes out to smoke a cigar at 8 o'clock.
Oh, Mo Just in the alley after 8 o'clock above the mountain. Look, would you please try to clean this up for me or separate it so I can breathe?
Don't you see, Danny, if Audrey Avon's gonna leave the show, they have to have somebody to replace her, don't they?
Oh, now we're getting somewhere, but I don't know where.
See, I know the part. Oh, look, Danny, it's 8 o'clock. Come on.
It's 8 o'clock, and we never eat 8 o'clock. Stick it back in the oven.
Miss Webster.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Perkins. Have you got anybody for Audrey Avon's part?
Yep.
Oh, who?
Audrey Avon.
Oh, well, you don't know it yet, but she's going to hand in her notice, isn't she, Danny?
Yeah.
And I know her part by heart. I know all the songs in the same key.
Yeah, you won't even have to change any of the arrangements.
I ain't planning to.
Look, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's act like I want to see it, and you just happen to be here. Go ahead, sweet. Let me have you first. This is wonderful. You're going to be crazy about it.
I love a feller and he loves me, but his mind has got a very strange twist. I hesitate to introduce him to my friends. In fact, I'm thinking of introducing him to a psychoanalyst. He keeps telling me he doesn't like my hat. The brim's a little grim, the crown's a little flat. But just let anybody else mention that, and he'll yell and he'll holler and he'll double up his fist, break your arm, like your eye, knock you down. And for 7 miles around, you can hear the man insist it's the prettiest hat in town. He keeps telling me my dancing's out of whack, my waltz is full of faults, my rumba's off the track. But just let anybody else make a crack, and he'll yell and he'll holler and he'll double up his fist, break your arm, black your eye, knock you down. And for 7 miles around, you can hear the man insist it's the fanciest dancing in town. That's loyalty. A little peculiar, but it's loyalty. He figures it this way: he can treat me like dirt, but you'd better treat me like royalty. So much as frown. I keep telling him I'm doing the best I can, but he's got me on the pan, saying my girdle shows and powder your nose and straighten your hose, and heaven only knows he'll yell and he'll holler. I'm a doll, a drool, a daisy, a dream, a ding-dong delicacy, a moment supreme. According to him, I'm just the loveliest guy in town.
All day long, dames bothering me. Go away. You stink.
Why, who do you think you are talking to a lady like that?
Danny, don't be so unreasonable.
Unreasonable. Nobody can talk to you like that except myself.
Oh, leave him alone. Maybe he's right.
He's not right. What does a drip like I know about talent? Come on, let's get our dinner out of the oven.
Gee, I'm discouraged, Danny. Now I've spoiled your celebration. I'm just a big cluck.
I don't feel that way, sweetie. You just ran into the wrong fellow, that's all. You know, from the way things are going this evening, Johnson will probably meet me at the front door with a pair of brass knuckles.
Oh, now, Danny, don't you get discouraged?
Oh, no, Danny. Discouragement is not allowed. It's a drug in the market.
Hi, Sandra.
Say, you're looking kind of pretty. Want something to eat?
No, thanks. I just had a hot cup of formaldehyde.
What happened to your date?
I wish I knew. I have just been stood up by an older type of most unattractive man with 4 buck teeth. Maybe I ought to get married, huh? Couldn't be any worse than this.
Cheer up, Sandra. The last moment, he probably realized he was unworthy of you.
Thanks a lot.
Say, I gotta get going to rehearsal. Johnson will be waiting for me.
Danny, you run along. Sandra and I'll be along in a few minutes.
Now, don't you look so sad, sweetie. I've got a feeling that Frankie's gonna be calling you by your first name very soon. Gotta leave, Frankie. This should take care of everything.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Harris. Follow me.
Gee, Sandra, everything happens to me.
Nothing happens to me.
Yum Yum, I want you to meet a friend of mine, Bunny Harris, and this is her roommate, Sandra.
I have other distinctions.
I met a friend of yours last night. Now I'm resting up. When do you expect your wife, Mr. Harris?
I'm not married, Miss Collier.
Mr. Harris produces musicals. He wants to talk to you about a job.
Oh, well, sit down, Mr.
You
Harris.
make yourself comfortable. The Juleps will be here in a moment, Martha.
Don't let us keep you, Baxter.
Okay, Bunny, see you tomorrow.
Are you really a producer, Mr. Harris?
Are you really an actress?
Oh, sure. I can sing and I can dance and I can skate.
And if necessary, she can even eat a banana underwater.
How about splitting a bottle of champagne with me at El Morocco? We'll talk it over.
Well, I don't know.
A bottle of champagne.
But we have to go to rehearsal and... Oh, I got a wonderful idea. Why don't you come along with us and you can see what kind of an actress I really am?
I'll be glad to.
It's only a few minutes walk from here.
Of course, I understand in Ohio the people walk quite a bit, but personally...
I know what you mean. I'm a taxi man myself.
Say no more, Mr. Harris.
Wait till you see it, Mr. Harris. It's really wonderful.
How came he dead? How not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit, I dare damnation. But to this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
I will, not all the world. And for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is written your revenge that swoop-stake you'll draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends, thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repast him with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death.
Danny.
And am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to
Danny,
your
I brought
justice
Mr. Harris, a
state
producer.
These gentlemen are producers, too. Miss Collier, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Anderson, the summer stock-up.
Dry up my
How do you do?
Tears 7 times salt, burn out.
Danny, he's a big Broadway producer. Will you be quiet?
Shall be paid by weight till our scale turn the beam. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh, heavens, is possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
That's Shakespeare.
Nature
I told
is
him.
fine in love. And where it is fine, it sends some...
It
precious
goes on quite a long time.
after the
She
change.
told me that, too.
Laertes, I must
Got a stick of
commune
gum?
with you, for you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will.
It's
And they shall hear
kind of
the
dull,
tales
isn't it,
of
Mr.
you and
Harris?
me.
I think you're right.
Direct,
You do?
like the
Oh, we
last,
got another
they
version,
find
Mr.
us
Harris.
We will our kingdom.
Danny,
Our crown, our life.
Danny, you've got to listen to me. Mr. Harris is bored to death. Can't we do the version we did for the Brewers Convention?
I'd like to hear that, too. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, sure.
See, Danny?
We shall
All right,
jointly labor with
you
your
win.
soul to bring it to due content.
Hold
Let
it,
it
fellas.
be so.
Now we'll try the other version, the more dignified one. Get dressed, kids.
Now, do your best, everybody. We've got a big Broadway producer out front.
All right, everybody. Places.
This is the story of Hamlet, William Shakespeare's most notable play. A magnificent, dignified work of art. But for you, chum, I guess I ought to tell it this way.
Now watch it, fellas. It's going to be a little bit different.
Hamlet was the prince of a spot called Denmark.
Mark my words.
There never was such a frantic guy, either before or since.
A Great Dane.
He was a dream boy, and like a hole in the head, Denmark needed that prince. So he bumped off his uncle and an American friend his mother, and he drove his girl to suicide and stabbed her big brother, 'cause he didn't want nobody else but himself should live. He was what you might call uncooperative. See what I mean?
Hamlet had a lady friend named Ophelia.
He'll feel you, crazy. He'll feel you, man. This'll kill you.
A cool put together mouse that made men thrill.
I let him sue. I let him sue. I let him sue.
But Hamlet, he thought she was from Uglyville.
He didn't seem to get my message.
So he chopped down her father just to teach the girl a lesson. Yes, he cut him up in slices like a pound of delicatessen.
As murder was one thing Hamlet sure did enjoy.
Sure did enjoy.
He was what you might call quite the mischievous boy. Is my father in there?
Yeah. Ophelia, overcome with such grief and sorrow.
Father, why don't you say something?
She went and flipped her lid, she popped her cork, she jumped the track.
You can say that again.
Thanks. I think I will.
And her intelligent mind developed a permanent crack. Ophelia had a 6.5-foot brother.
Brother, I need you, brother. I need you, brother. I need you.
Thought that Hamlet had been and tried to do him.
I'll run him through. Run him through Pittsburgh. He's got relatives there.
So it was doggy, 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 Denmark.
He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down, he's up, he's down.
Yes, it was doggy, 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 Denmark.
The king and the queen arrive in the scene, and all of you read.
To my left,
to left, and then another left, he gets him a left, a left. He ain't got no left, left.
Wow.
He gets him a right, and then another right, another right. A right. He gets killed his right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Killed me. And the name of this omelet is Hamlet.
Time for sandwiches and coffee, everyone. Come on.
That was quite something, Mr. James.
Certainly different.
Glad you liked it.
Well, what did you gentlemen think of our jump version?
They thought it was great.
You see, Danny? You know, Danny and I are always arguing about Shakespeare. I'll bet you when we do it in your theater...
Look, sweetie, there's something I want to tell you. Excuse me just a minute.
What did you want to tell me?
Well, what I wanted to tell you is that I love you. What would you say if I said, let's get married right away?
The way you kiss me, I think maybe we'd better.
Then it's settled. We'll get the license tomorrow.
Oh, Danny, isn't life wonderful? We're going to get married and the company's set for the summer. Johnson is going to use us, isn't he?
Oh, sure. It's set. We start rehearsing in the morning and we open in 3 weeks.
That's wonderful. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful. But there's one thing that...
Well, Danny, isn't this what you've always wanted?
Yeah, it's what I wanted with changes. Well, I guess that's the way life is. It's full of changes. Plan on something, work for it, dream about it. And when it finally comes, it's not exactly what you wanted.
Will you stop mumbling about life and tell me what's on your mind?
Well, Johnson wants to hire the group. And he thinks you're a good actress, but he has his problems. He feels that he needs a big star to sell tickets.
Oh. You mean to play my part?
Now, don't look so sad, sweetie. Your turn will come. All you have to do is be a little patient and wait.
Well, I'm tired of waiting. I'll wait for a break. I'll wait for a chance. You don't get anything by waiting, Danny. All you get is old.
Well, he wants you for the understudy.
Oh, swell. I get to play the understudy. While she's on the stage doing my part, I can sit in the wings and pray that she breaks her leg.
Now, look, it wasn't my idea to hire a big star. I told him you could act circles around anyone. And you know we have to think of the group. They need the jobs.
Oh, you did right, Danny. You did absolutely right. It's just that, well, it was kind of a shock to me, I guess. I thought it was kind of special.
You are kind of special. You're kind of special, my girl.
Oh, sure. Let's give Eleanor the consolation prize. Let's marry her. That's one part she won't have to understudy in until later. No thanks, Danny. The deal's off.
You know you don't mean that.
Yes, I do mean it. Maybe it's because I want success more than I want marriage, Danny. But it's what I started out to get. All my life I wanted to be somebody, somewhere. I couldn't make you a good wife, Danny. I'd be sitting outside of casting offices while you were home waiting for your dinner. I couldn't be a success in our marriage when I'm a failure at my career. It wouldn't be fair to you, Danny.
I'll take that chance. Let me decide whether it's fair or not.
No, Danny.
All right, have it your own way. Maybe you're right. Maybe a successful career is more important than our marriage. But somehow, sweetie, it just doesn't spell happiness to me. I gotta go see the kids.
Of course, she hasn't had any Broadway experience, but they love her in Ohio. Listen, how about some more coffee?
No, thank you. There she is now.
Why don't you go over and tell her how wonderful she was?
I think I will. Excuse me. You were great, Miss Collier.
Thanks, Mr. Harris.
If that's a sample of what you can do, you can have them on their ears in this town. I'd like you to read the part in my script.
Honest, you mean it?
Sure, I mean it. You're terrific.
When would you like me to read the part?
Now,
You got it with you?
it's at my apartment.
Oh. Are the etchings unpacked?
You're kind of suspicious, aren't you? First I'm married, now I got etchings. Oh, is the boyfriend the stumbling block?
Well,
He's a big stumbling block. Look, I live at the Ridgeway Apartments. I'll be there in half an hour. I'd like for you to come over. If you can't come, good luck.
But, Mr. Harris, you're not leaving already.
Yes, I really must leave. Thanks for inviting me over.
Well, just in case you ever want to get in touch with us, we're in the phone book.
I'll remember that. I like your little friend.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, come on, stick around. Have a sandwich, huh? Eleanor's going to be awful disappointed you didn't stay.
I told her where she can find me. I'm hoping to see her soon. Good night.
Hey, that producer was crazy over you. You're going to follow through on this now, aren't you?
Gee, I don't know,
Oh,
Sandra.
for Pete's sake, don't be an idiot. This might be your break.
Do you think I ought to see him?
If you don't, you ought to have your head examined.
Remember, kids, rehearsal tomorrow afternoon at 2. Be on time, Hirsch.
Come stand. It's
Come on, sweetie. I'll take you home.
Well, wait a minute. How about Mr. Anderson and Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, don't you have to entertain them?
Oh, they've already left. It's time for us, too. You look tired.
Well, I'm not tired.
No, those emotional roles. She does them just like that.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, Danny.
Yeah?
Here's that play script I spoke to you tonight about.
Thanks, John. I'll take a look at it.
When did Harris say you want to see it? Tonight in about a half an hour. Tonight?
I'll take it home and read it. What's the matter with you two? What are you looking so funny about?
Funny.
Well, you don't look normal.
Oh, well, when I was born, the doctor said this child will never look normal. She may look healthful, but she'll never look normal.
Oh, shut up, Sandra. It's the truth. Danny, I have something to tell you. I have to go someplace.
From the way you look, it must be the morgue.
I have to read for Mr. Harris, Danny. Maybe I'll get the part he says if I read for him.
Mr. Harris wants you to read for him. You'll get the part if you read for him.
Uh-huh.
When are you going to read for him?
Now?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? You just met the man's parents a half hour ago.
An hour and a half ago.
All right, an hour and a half ago. What difference does it make? Now you're going to his apartment at midnight?
What makes you think I'm going to his apartment?
Oh, it's the oldest routine of the world. Soft lights, music, a bottle of champagne, and a dog-eared script.
Yeah, and 2 months later, your name up in lights.
Danny, you're all wrong.
Sure, I'm wrong. I've been wrong ever since I first met you. But I'm tired of being wrong. I'm tired of wondering what you're going to fall for next. And when you buy the Brooklyn Bridge, be sure and take the river with you because somebody may ask you to move it, and that's a very expensive job.
Danny, where are you going?
I'm going home. Where do you think I'm going?
Danny, I'm sorry. I guess you're right. If you're going home, couldn't we all go together?
Sure, come on. Let's all have a hot cup of cocoa, huh? That'll put us to sleep.
Honestly, sweetie, I've heard of people sticking their necks out. But I've never heard of anybody sticking their neck out and pointing at it like you do. Now, look, there's only one place ever to read a script, and that's in broad daylight in an office. Right?
Right.
Let's go.
All I have to say is that certain people needn't tell other people everything they know.
Huh?
For example, if Danny got a job directing a play, and then he lost it, but he hadn't told you, you'd never miss it, would you?
What are you talking about?
Eleanor, to be right to the point, what people don't know doesn't hurt them. It's what they suspect or they think they know that gives them high blood pressure.
Are you suggesting that I deceived Danny?
I'm only suggesting that Mr. Harris has a job for you. I'm also suggesting that it's better to face a wolf in a well-furnished apartment than at the door.
Now is the time. I wonder if that's an omen.
What? What?
That sign up there. It says now's the time.
Now's the time. Sure it is. Sure it's an omen.
Here's another one. Opportunity knocks but once.
Well, Eleanor, for Pete's sake, what more do you want? Opportunity knocks but once. Now is the time. Come on.
Yeah, but Sandra, I might get into trouble.
You get into trouble, all you have to do is call me and I'll call the Marines. Now remember, be a lady.
You say you always wear your hat when you drink champagne? Any particular reason?
Oh, just habit, I guess.
Well, maybe it's a hat you don't want to lose, in case you have to run.
Oh, it isn't that. It's just that, well, I didn't expect to find you ready for bed.
You didn't? What time do people go to bed in Ohio?
You think I'm kind of funny, don't you?
I don't think you're funny at all.
Oh, well, I guess I'd better be going, Mr. Harris. You better let me out of here. I told somebody where I was coming.
I saw a rabbit once, cornered by a dog. It didn't look half as scared as you do. Dog hadn't even offered it champagne. You want to be in a show?
Yes, I do, Mr. Harris, but not at that price.
Like what price? All I want to do is produce a play. Where do I have to audition you? Times Square?
Maybe we'll come back tomorrow in broad daylight.
But I want to hear you tonight.
Please, Mr. Harris.
All right. Forget it. I was lonely tonight. I wanted to have someone nice around. Wanted to hear a voice that didn't come out of a radio.
You see, Mr. Harris, I've done something wrong. I wasn't supposed to come up here, and then I did.
The big guy? The stumbling block? You're kind of stuck on him, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, kid. There's a trick to this. The middle one is electric.
Why do you have so many locks on the door?
The locks are to keep people out, not to keep them in.
I thought you said you were lonely.
I did say that. I am lonely. All guys like me are lonely. Here's your coat. I got a better idea. Why don't you call your guy, get him up here? We'll all have a good cry together.
Gee, Mr. Harris, do you really mean I could have Danny come up here and read your script?
Sure, go ahead, call him. There's the phone.
Oh, gee, that's wonderful. He'll be a big help to you, Mr. Harris.
Here's to our happy association. Professional.
Apartment 306. A signal 32. Proceed with caution. Shots fired. Cars 1, 2, and 3 respond.
Well, how did he look?
I don't know, sir. I ducked.
Sit down. What are you doing here?
I was auditioning.
Sit down. For what show?
I don't know, sir. I hadn't auditioned yet. There's the script.
East Lynn.
Sit down.
How long have you known Harris?
3 hours, sir.
Sit down.
You've known him for 3 hours. You go up to his room alone. He gets killed, and you don't know anything about
I
it.
told you he got shot.
Sit down.
We know he got shot. What we want to know is how.
With a big gun, sir.
Sit down.
Get her out of my sight.
Can I stand up to walk?
But don't leave town.
Why should I leave town?
Let's go. Hold it. What did you and Bunny talk about?
About a play.
Do you have anything to drink?
No,
Make
sir.
any date for the future?
No, I didn't make a date for the future.
How long have you known him?
I haven't known him.
Harris was a racketeer.
A what?
A gangster.
A gambler.
You mean he wasn't a producer?
Hold it.
Thanks.
Hello, Danny. See, you've been reading the papers. Great stuff, huh? We've hit every front page. Will her boyhood sweetheart stand by her in her hour of need? I got a bid for her life story, but I wanted to keep quiet while I hiked the price. Oh, we'll probably have to run a picture view. Have you got one that looks real sexy?
Now, Danny James, I know you're in there. I can hear you grinding your teeth. Open up.
Julia, have you seen Mr. James' room?
Last I saw him, he was going out to see what boats are sailing where.
I'll bet research will prove that only male rats desert sinking ships.
Well, he isn't back yet.
Gee, Sandra, I guess if he isn't here now and I need him so badly, maybe he's not coming back at all. Can't say that I blame him very much.
Oh, cheer up, honey. Of course, he'll be back.
You don't understand, Sandra. You've never been in love.
No, only a couple of dozen times. Say, how about something good to eat, huh? Oh, come on. Starve a cold, but feed a heartache, I always say. All right, I'm going to fix you something anyways.
Where are you now that I need you? Now that I want you so badly, I could cry. Where are you? Where did fate lead you? Funny how I dreamed you'd still be standing by. I had you at my beck and call. I call you anytime at all. I guess I took too much for granted. I never thought I'd lie awake and sigh. Where are you now that I need you? Now that I love you so madly, I could die.
I was never one for raw eggs and milk myself. This'll make you feel great if you can get it down.
No, thanks.
Oh, honey, you have to have something.
Gee, Sandra, do you think maybe he might come back?
Oh, sure. Sure, he's got to come back. Golly, I hate to leave you alone. Nona won't be back for an hour, but I have to go out for a while.
Oh, that's all right, Sandra. I'll be all right.
Listen, don't forget what I told you. You're not to open that door up for anybody, not anybody at all. You hear me? It might be more reporters.
It might be Danny, too.
Yeah, see? So cheer up, honey.
quarters.
This is Miss Loring. As you all know, Miss Loring's going to be with our group this summer.
I've heard so much about you and how clever you are. I just know we're going to work beautifully together. Confidentially, I almost never do summer stock. I don't have to, you know.
Well, unfortunately, we do. Now, look, let's have a line rehearsal, and tonight we'll walk it.
Danny, please excuse us for interrupting, but something just terrible has happened. We have to talk to you.
Danny, it's a matter of life and death.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Look, No came home and found this.
Yes, I found the bathroom.
It looks like a scavenger hunt. What is it?
It's a face, sort of.
Well, whose face? Who's got who?
Who knows whose face, but it's Eleanor they've got.
He has a score and plays the piano. Now, look, I got lots of work to do. I'm tired of this Charlie Baxter gagging.
It's no gag, honest to Pete. It's all my fault. I told her to go out last night.
That's right.
Danny, the kid's really in trouble.
You just gotta help us, Danny.
Well, did you call the police?
We didn't know what to do, so we just ran right over here to you.
Okay, Hurst, take over. Come on, let's go.
That doesn't do us much good. He's probably from out of town anyway. That bubble mouth deserves it. Broadway Butterfly witnesses shooting. Yum Yum mourns gangster Romeo. You thought she was running for Congress. What'd you expect? We're turning the town inside out to get Harris's murderer, and she has to get herself kidnapped. Photograph it.
What did they do to her?
It's almost a certainty that your friend, Miss Collier, has been, as they put it, snatched by friends, enemies, or colleagues of the late Mr. Harris. No matter which faction it is, they're after information which they believe to be in Miss Collier's possession. They will use devious and various methods of achieving this information. And most probably, whether they get it or don't get it, her remains will be consigned to the bottom of the East River in a properly weighted container.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Look, we try to do our best. In case you don't know it, our best is very good. Sometimes we perform miracles, but not always. It's a big city, Mr. James. Got a couple of million rooms in it. She could be in any one of the 2 million. She's all right for a couple of days while they're trying to get her to talk. It's after that we have to start worrying.
Oh, what'll we do?
I got an idea. If there's anybody in town who'll know that guy's face, it's Laddie Corwin.
And Laddie Cohen ought to be at Perrin's right now.
Right. Captain, do you mind if we take the ironing board with us?
No, 3 doors down the hall on the left.
Thanks. Come on.
Mr. Cohen, you just got to help us. We're counting on you.
Well, let's sit down and talk it over. Although it scarcely seems legitimate to me.
Well, I know what you mean, Mr. Corwin. You think that this is another one of Charlie Baxter's brainstorms.
Well, it does look a little 10, 20, 30, doesn't it?
Well, there's one thing I'm sure of. She barely knew Bunny Harris.
She only met him once.
Say, that's right. I was with him the first time he saw her. Lieutenant Gorham warned him. Hey, maybe this is on the level.
Well, I'll admit she liked publicity, but she wouldn't do anything like this to scare us.
I know someone who'd be sure to know that face.
Who?
The guy it belongs to.
Of course.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll run this at the head of my column tomorrow, and I'll write him an open letter.
Wonderful.
I'll appeal to his better nature. To the man who recognizes himself in this sketch, I'll say, you look like an intelligent man, my friend, but you've made a mistake.
To the man who recognizes himself in this sketch, you look like an intelligent man, friend, but you've made a mistake. You've gone and snatched the wrong party, and before you do anything that might hurt anyone, please contact me. And look at that picture! Will you look at that picture? Where did he dig that up?
I drew it. It looks just like you, only better.
I'm getting sick of your crap.
I'll leave any time, Buster.
You leave when I say so. Maybe in one piece.
Oh, hello.
Look, you're in the wrong building, mister. Elks Club is around the corner. Well, say something. Can you?
Listen, lady, never mind the small talk. What's all this correspondence? Corwin writes me a letter. Now I hear he's going to write me another letter tomorrow.
Well, I'll fix that. I'll go to the phone and I'll...
Let's not be smart. Joe,
Oh, hello, Joe.
let's just listen to what I come to tell you.
All right.
Sit down.
Sure. Look, how is she? Where is she, huh?
How is she? Where is she?
Yeah.
You don't hear good, maybe. I'm a busy man. I got no time for this small talk about how is people. All I want is you and your pals to stop putting my picture in the paper. Gets me nervous. Besides, it ain't a good picture.
Oh, no. You're much prettier than that, Mr.
Never mind trying to find out my name.
Yum Yum's a good kid.
Yum Yum's a pain in the neck.
Yes, but she's a good kid. And she's innocent, too. She doesn't know anything about Bunny Harris's death. And you just gotta let her go.
I don't gotta do anything.
Oh, I guess you don't. Oh, if I could just see her walking. She is able to walk, isn't she?
Walk. She jumps. Whole place jumps. Look, I want to find out something. And I do it the best way I know how. Maybe it's a kind of a rough way. Well, I'm a kind of a rough guy, if you get what I mean.
Yes, I get what you mean. I'm trying not to think about it.
Bunny Harris was my boss. I want to know who put the heat on him, and I don't want to talk to them personally.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, a murder was committed. The law's trying to figure out who committed it. Is that right?
Right.
Well, do I have to wear a uniform to be on the side of the law, do I?
No. You'd look awful cute in one, though, Mr.
That girl fingered Bunny Harris, and I want to know why and who paid her. We're getting a guy in tomorrow who can persuade anybody to talk.
Oh, no. I can't believe that a man with a good, honest, kind face like yours could possibly torture an innocent party.
Innocent party. I didn't even know Bunny's hideaway myself. I knew he had an electric lock on the door, and he never opened it except to go in and out. If this yum-yum didn't open the door, how come they walked right in and shot him? Answer me that. How come?
You like television?
Yeah, I like television.
Well, if you listen in tomorrow night to Laddie Corwin's broadcast at 8:30, maybe they'll have some of the answers.
Maybe by tomorrow night, I'll have some of the answers. And look, tell your friend Corwin to stop printing stuff like I'm a criminal. When I'm only doing what the law's doing. Only more competent and less frills.
Oh, you're not leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Well,
And let's not go giving any alarms.
thank you.
Listen to me, Dan. The police are human beings, not magicians. We've got every precinct in town alerted. Men are working on it 24 hours a day. We can't bust into every apartment in New York City and search the broom closets. We've got to have warrants. All we know about this man is he has a smooth haircut. Well, I ask you, how many smooth haircuts are there in New York City? And he has a scar on his face. We don't even know what kind of a scar. And he plays the piano.
Piano? That's right, he plays the piano.
Where are you going?
I'm going to play a long shot. I've always been a sucker for long shots. Have you ever tuned a piano for a man that looks like that?
He's deaf. He tunes by vibration. The man in the picture. Did you tune a piano for him?
Yeah, face like that, maybe.
Where?
Where?
I can't remember.
Mister, you've got to remember, a girl's life is at stake.
Yeah, a girl's life is at stake.
Yeah, I gotta remember. Brooklyn, near the water.
There's a lot of water around Brooklyn. Where was it?
Yeah, where was it?
A big place. Like a warehouse.
Come with me, mister.
Hit me. Hit me again. It's too much.
Any fool knows you should stand on 17.
Why don't you keep that tongue of yours curled up between your teeth?
Oh, I just hated to see you get tipped off all that dough.
Yakking again. When Steve gets here, you won't feel like talking so much.
Oh, I was just trying to keep the game honest, fellas.
Maybe I ought to start working on you.
Lay off. Sadism. I don't like to see it. That's Steve. Let him in. All right, Steve.
Hi.
Hey, you're 15 minutes late.
Couldn't help it. I had to stop and see my mother. This a customer?
Yeah, take her in the next room.
Oh, I don't want to go in the next room.
You heard me.
Come on, in that room.
Mind this for me.
What do you want?
We're looking for a warehouse with a big black and white sign painted on it, officer.
There are 8 miles of warehouses. Most of them have big black and white signs. Keep on going right this way.
8 miles. Thanks, officer.
Get me out here!
Go ahead, deal. Sit down. It's getting too noisy. You better have a little music. Hey, what goes?
My brother was a Marine. He taught me jiu-jitsu. You guys leave me alone.
All right. Lay off. I'll take care of her myself later. Right now, it's time for the television beef. I want to see what they got to say about me. Go ahead, Charlie. Turn it on. Hey, you. Sit down over there. Who's that Coleman think he's kidding? Bunny was never interested in show business.
Then why did he tell me he was?
I don't think he did. Star, you? You'll have to do better than that, sister.
Oh, you don't know anything about me. I can sing Rings Around Anybody you can think of.
I can think of some pretty good singers.
Oh, I bet you wouldn't even know a singer if you heard one.
You had to hear the lady sing, Steve.
I'm in the business. She better start singing soon.
And it won't be a pretty song. Only maybe you better sing a pretty one first. After that, you can accompany it. We got lots of time.
That we have.
Well, okay, I'll sing a song for you, but I'd like everybody to sit down.
Go ahead, sit down. What are you gonna sing?
Where are you in the key of C? It goes like this. Da, 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 da. Hey, you play all right. You're in the wrong business. Let's start over now. Da, da, da. Now that I need you, now that I want you so badly, I could cry. Where are you? Now that I need you, now that I want you so badly, I could die. I had you at my beck and call. I call you any time.
Give me your business card.
What?
Your business card.
I never thought I'd lie. Oh, I can die. Where are you? Where did fate lead you? Now that I want you so badly, I could die. Isn't that kind of a pretty song? Would you like to hear another chorus? Huh?
No. Jimmy, Steve, put a muzzle on it. Get back.
Let go.
Go! Oh!
Get her in the other room.
And at the close of my newscast, I want to appeal again to the kidnappers of Yum Yum Collier. I hope they're tuned in. My message will be of great importance
Give me a
to
pin.
them and to the talented young lady they're holding.
See who that is.
Who is it?
I'm the piano tuner.
What do you want?
I want to fix your piano.
Piano tuner, huh? Yeah. Shove along, bud. We got tuned 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I know that, but my boss asked me to come back to fix the lower section.
Fix the lower section, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on in. Piano's up there. After you. This guy says he's a piano tuner. He says a mistake was made last time.
I think the mistake is being made this time.
No, my boss said that the lower section needs a little checking here.
Where's your tools?
Oh, we use the new system now. We don't use the tools.
Hey, middle C is out of commission. Try it.
All right, middle C. Yeah,
Yeah.
right after this here.
Try middle C.
You say.
Middle C, I said.
Well, I've got to get the screwdriver.
whoever you are, you've made a mistake. This girl is no murderess. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. She's a sweet kid. She wouldn't hurt anyone. Fire a gun. This girl is gentle and kind. She's never known violence. I know her background, friends, and how she lives. She's warm-hearted, generous, and thoughtful of other people's happiness. She was brought up in a nice home. Child of fine parents. Taught her anything good thing. This innocent young girl. I have to be Yum Yum called on Harris and they I say to you again, Yum Yum, you kidnapped the wrong person. Of course she made mistakes, but not the kind of mistake that you were holding her believing. This girl must be found. She must be allowed to speak for herself, to prove her innocence. If you have any information
Don't go away, I'll be right back.
whereabouts of Yum Yum Collier, call Beekman 99970. Got that? I will repeat the number. Call Beekman 99970. Laddie Corwin speaking.
Hi, this is Yum Yum Collier.
Where are you?
Right here. Can't you see me? I can see you.
Are you all right?
Oh, sure. I'm fine, fine.
We have good news for you, Miss Collier. But I will let your manager, Mr. Baxter, tell you about it in person. Sit down, Mr. Baxter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and you, Yum Yum, this is exciting news. Mr. Johnson has personally informed me that he has changed his mind and has decided that you should take your rightful place with the rest of the group and star in the summer stock company. Do you hear me?
Do I hear you? Can you hear me?
Huh? What's that?
I know I'm a half-wit, Danny, but you will marry me, won't you?
Ruff!